All right, cool. All right, looks like the people joining have slowed down. So let's get started. Hey, everyone. George from Zenhub here. I'm joined by Jason, who's part of our marketing team, who'll be handling chat, questions, and getting them to me. This webinar today is a progress update on where we are with sub-issues. And as I mentioned to some of you who were joining, this is kind of like in the middle of where we're at. So I'm going to show you some things that are live in production now. If you have access to sub-issues, I will show you some things that are coming very soon, like in next week. And then I will show you some things that are coming later in the month and into January. I'll also talk about how to get access to sub-issues if you don't have it already. And we should have plenty of time for questions as well. I'm going to focus mainly today on how you can go from your highest level goals and objectives to the lowest level day-to-day tasks like that, and have full transparency and traceability of all of your work so that you can understand how it relates to your larger initiatives, your larger goals, or how it doesn't. So that's one of the other things that we're seeing with our new approach to breaking work down, in that it really helps you spot what work isn't related to your highest level goals. So with that, let's get started. Here we are. So first, just a little refresher on why we're doing this in the first place. And how we are bringing order to the chaos. I'm going to mostly take you through what's available today and coming in the next week by showing it to you rather than talking to slides. I will take you through how to get access. If you don't have access today, we'll talk about what's next, and then we'll talk about a migration that we're going to be doing from the kind of old way of breaking work down, or the current way of breaking work down for many people in Zenhub, to this new world. So it comes down to this. Any given day, your team will come in and they'll start writing things down. Right? They may start at the top and create an epic, and then start breaking that work down into a series of smaller tasks. Now, depending on how your team works, you may find some pretty well-aligned patterns. So this engineer created an epic. That's typically a high-level body of work that's going to take a number of sprints to get done, a sprint being typically a week or two. And from there, they're going to break that work down into smaller chunks. Now, a story is a kind of a typical term for a body of work that you're going to get done within a sprint, a week or two. You're going to get a bunch of stories done within a week. It looks like they've also created a bug here and created a task under the bug. So far, this looks pretty reasonable and pretty traceable. It's easy to see how this work rolls up into this user authentication piece. So what happens, though, is on any given day, people are inconsistent, not only with their team or from your team to somebody else's team, but within themselves. Like, we don't always do everything exactly the same way every time. So while on Monday, this engineer wrote up some work, and it looked like a task was a child of a bug, which could be a child of an epic. And it looks like a bug and a story are probably peers here. On today, it looks like a task is a peer to an epic. And they've created this new thing called a subtask. So I guess a subtask is smaller than a task. And then tomorrow, they might open another body of work and call it a feature. So a feature, a task, and an epic appear to be at the same level. But here we have a story as a child to a feature. But I thought a story was a child to an epic, right? So as days go on, as each individual is not 100% consistent with themselves, what you end up with is a team that is inconsistent with themselves and inconsistent with each other. And it leaves you with a body of work that is very hard to map and understand how everything relates to each other. Now, we have a simple hierarchy system in Zenhub today that we've had before this project that we've been working on. And it's given you 3 levels of work: project, epic, and issue. So we know through talking with many of the people on the call here today and the thousands of people that I've talked to over the years that I've been here that that level of hierarchy is not nearly enough for organizations at scale. So earlier this summer, we started working with GitHub. GitHub is providing some base level infrastructure for supporting this concept of hierarchy. So we've been working with them because we brought hierarchy to GitHub 10 years ago. It was one of the earliest features that we brought into GitHub with the Zenhub extension when we released that just about 10 years ago. So we've been working with them, and I'm really excited to show you like kind of where we are today, because if you think this is bad, right? When you start scaling from one team to another or a team of teams, it becomes completely impossible to track a large body of work across a team of teams. So let's actually jump in. I'm going to use like my own actual, like our own board. And I have tried to obfuscate a few things. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of things, just because there's some things that I can't share yet. So let's drive in. So right here, I am in an issue. And you can see that this issue, I've got a top level description here of Q4 core projects. You can see that number 1, we're focused on enhanced project management with sub-issues and issue types. Number 2, we have an exciting new thing that we're doing called the Engineering Investment Report. So this is a pilot that we're running that is built using kind of the next gen of our categorization AI work that we've put into our core Zenhub product. So this is a pilot program that we're running with a number of companies that we are going to use to help create a new app next year. And then the other thing that we're focused on is the migration of existing Zenhub-based projects, epics, and to the new sub-issue based projects, epics, and however you want your hierarchy to work. So what you can see here is that this top level issue, which contains a number of different projects and epics. So you can see right off the bat that there are 176 out of 278. Okay, so we tell you at a glance the total sum of all of the work. And if I were to look at this in GitHub directly, because as I mentioned, we're building this on top of the basic support that GitHub has added to the platform. If I look at this same thing, it tells me that I'm at 0 of 4. And the reason it does is because they only ever show the next level down because of how they're fetching everything. So we will always give you the total sum of the work so that you have a much clearer understanding about where you are from a progress standpoint. Okay, so next we have in the sub-issues table, we have some incredibly helpful things. So at a glance, you can tell what repository and what issue number you're looking at. The repository being visible is incredibly important because Zenhub workspaces allow you to bring together multiple GitHub repositories into one place, which if your team is anything like our team, and we know, having talked to you, that people end up opening similarly named issues in multiple repositories over and over and over again. So you need to know where the work is happening, right? So Zenhub makes it super easy to understand where the work is. And as I kind of drill down here, I can expand and see that this issue is in the Zenhub repository, and this issue is in the Raptor repository. Additionally, you can see that we've got these at-a-glance icons to tell you what the state of the work is. So the half circle means in progress. The green check mark means completed. Let's find, we'll go into here, and let's look at MVP 2. So here you can see some issues that have not yet started. So the dashed white circle to do, the half circle in progress, and the green check mark is complete. So at a glance, you can understand the state of all of the work. You can see the number of sub-issues. You can see the pipeline or status, and then you can see who the primary owners are. And just so you can very quickly drill down from the top to the bottom like that, right? So I can go from a subtask to a story to an epic to a initiative or a feature to a project to whatever. However you want to classify these issue types, you can just drill down and up and down like that. It is so fast. Now, if I want to update one of these, right? So if I come in here, I'm going to go into this right here, and I can see that I have an issue for webinars and sub-issues. So I could see webinar for post MVP1 updates in between MVP1 and MVP2. That's today. You can see that it's in progress. Awesome. I'm going to open up an issue here and say send a follow-up email thanking everyone for attending and include the recording. I can quickly add a label, so I can say like marketing, product marketing, and I can assign myself, and then there you go. I create that, and then that will be created in a second. You can see down here it says, whoop, I zoomed a little too weirdly there. But you can see it's been curse of the live demo. All right, let's drill back down very quickly. Here we go. Curse of the live demo. All right, so just to show you how quickly you can get back to where you were, navigating with the sub-issues lister is so fast, right? So I can see right here, there's the issue itself, and you can see that it's a new issue. So if I want to, I can just click into that and then change anything I want about it. So you know what? I should probably change the parent here, because I created it under the parent sub-issue rollout and product marketing, but I should really put it under this this sub-issues one. So there's two ways for me to do that. I can click into this, and I can click parent, and I can just type and find it, or I can do the other thing, which is I can click into the parent, and I can come into the same quick add field, and I can type send email, and there it is, and I can just select it, and now you'll get a dialog that says issues can only have one parent. Adding this issue will change its parent. That's fine. I want to do that. So it tells you that it's going to move from the sub-issues rollout and product marketing parent to the webinars for sub-issues. Awesome. Add and change parent, and we're done. So this is incredibly fast to be able to group together large bodies of work and make sure that all of the work rolls up or is broken down the way that you want to. So a couple of things that we want to go look at now on the board. So let's go to the board. So, oh, by the way, if you don't use Command K to navigate around Zenhub, it's one of my favorite things that we've added this year. So if you hit Command K, you can see actions and then search. So if you want to navigate, that's an action. If you want to create a new issue, that's an action. If you want to go to dark mode, right, you can do that with a click, right, or a keystroke. If I want to search, I can just hit tab, and now I can search for any issue and then navigate around. So if you're not using Command K, it's a keystroke away. It will transform how you move around Zenhub and how you search and how you like set preferences and stuff. So super, super helpful. Let's go to the board. And you can see here that I have, you know what? I'm going to go back into toggle dark mode back off for the demo. You can see here that I have a pipeline called goals and planning. Now, if anyone saw the last webinar, or you and I have talked about things, the planning panel is coming soon. The team's heads down working on it right now. So I've got a pipeline here as a substitute for right now until the planning panel is live in the product. So these are higher level issues. I've got this in compact mode. So under the view settings, you can either set condensed mode or the kind of verbose mode. Verbose mode is the normal mode where you've got a ton of stuff on every card. I like the condensed mode myself. I've also got this in wide mode, right? So cards can either be the normal width, or you can click that to expand it. You can also set it into multi-column pipelines. So there are a lot of different view options here. If you've never played around with this, check it out. So I'm going to go back into condensed mode and wide. So here's that top level one that I was in before. And if you look down this list, you can see the list of the upcoming projects and epics that we are working on. Now, from the board itself, you can very quickly filter the board down. So you can say, show me the next level down. So if you remember in that issue itself, there were 4 main children, right? So if I do next level down, it will filter it down to show those 4 children. Now, if I want to drill down further and see what's the next level down for the sub-issues and issue types, you'll see some things start to appear, right? And if I drill then to the next level down, I see even more appear. Now I can clear all that, and I can just say, you know what? I just want to see all the levels down of the next MVP for sub-issues, right? So for here, that gives me everything from the top to the bottom. So with a click, I can filter my board to see everything that remains on this project, right? And then from here, I can save this as a view. If you're not using the saved views, oh my gosh, save views, filter the board however you like. And then from here, you can save it and then just jump right back to it. If you've got a saved view that you want to share with someone, just create the saved view, go to the URL, copy, paste, send it to someone, and then you are off. Okay, hey, we got some questions. Okay, so while we're right here, I'm going to just answer these questions live. Brian and then Alex. Okay, so to be clear, when the planning panel is live, you would not recommend using a goals and planning pipeline. Right. Yeah, this is just for now. This is just to kind of kind of live with this kind of mental model of having the goals and planning here on the board. And yeah, as soon as the planning panel's in there, I'm going to remove that pipeline. So, okay. Hopefully that answers the question, Alex. And there. Can you go over the epic list on the board's intended use and explain why our current Zenhub epics are not available in that view? Okay, so in the current edition of the product today, whether you have sub-issues or not, we've got epics, which we added to GitHub years ago. And if you just under here, you can say view the epic list on the board, or you can type TK and it will slide out. Or you can do Command K and bring up the epic list from there. Now, from here, I can come in and filter by project and say, I just want to show only those things that roll up into this scaled work breakdown system that we're building. Now, this is the epics list view here. If I want to show that on the board, I just type TK, and again, I can filter by whatever I want, and then I can sort by whatever I want. If you don't see this, send me an email. This should be available for most people. Now, I will say that if you are on-prem, you might have a slightly different version. In other words, if you're not using the zenhub.com version of our product, but if your company hosts Zenhub on-prem, that might be why. But shoot me an email. My email address will be on the screen at the end of this. Hopefully, Brian, that helps. What is the intended use of the sidebar? A couple of things so that you can very quickly see at a glance the kind of high-level goals that you and your team are working on, and to filter the board by the epic. Now, long-term, once we get to a certain level of feature parity between sub-issues and issue types and what we've had with Zenhub projects and epics, we will be migrating all of these Zenhub-based epics to issue-based epics and projects. So I'll talk about when that's going to happen and what the cutoff point is going to be, at what point we're going to do that. So yeah, so the whole idea behind the epic list on the board is so that you can have an at-a-glance understanding of the high-level things that you and your team are working on, and so that you can go in and see exactly where the work is, right? Because, at the end of the day, a Kanban board is a visual representation of your workflow, right? A lot of people don't think of it like that, but if I select all levels down from MVP2, and then I do this, and I zoom way out, right? Now, you can see that there are, just from a body of work point of view, you can see that I'll expand some of these right now here, even though there's some stuff in here that hasn't been refined yet. But you can see that most of the work is over here in the closed, a couple things in code review, a bunch of things in progress, some things in the sprint backlog remaining, product backlog, bunch of stuff ready for refinement. We move fast. So things hits refinement, we put it into the product backlog, and then it gets picked up and put into the next sprint. So we are always refining constantly. So yeah, just zooming out gives you a visual understanding about where all the work is, right? So from here, that's why we want to be able to have these large bodies of work visible that we can filter from, so that we can quickly understand where all the work is. So Brian, hopefully that answered the question. And Alex, thank you for saying perfect. That's great. And then an anonymous attendee has asked, on the standard subscription, one can see the create sub task. What features are in the paid subscription? Okay, So depending on what level, so we have basically 3 different plans. There is just getting started, there's a freemium plan. There are a bunch of limits on it, a lot of restrictions. You only have like 1 workspace. You can only bring in like 1 GitHub repository. You can have up to 250 issues. It's like, it's meant so that you can understand the value of Zenhub in as much time as you need, right? So, we used to just have a 14-day trial. Sometimes it takes a sprint or 2 for you to really understand whether or not a solution is going to work for you and your team. So we added a freemium plan a while back that gives people a little more time to kind of stretch out and understand whether or not it's there. Sub-issues will be available for all plan types. So freemium, the teams plan, which is meant for like smaller companies, and then the enterprise plan, which is meant for large companies. So sub-issues will be created will be available, sorry, for all plan types. But right now, we are building this on top of the latest GitHub platform beta, which isn't yet in GA or released. All right, so I'll give you some information a little bit later on when we wrap up after the live demo and then the preview of what's to come. So you have to be on that next level of GitHub in order for us to put sub-issues on for you. So if you don't have access to that yet, I will give you some information about how to get it, and I'll do that before we end today. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay, back to where I was at. Okay, so a couple of really cool things that the team has added, right? So added support for saved views, right? We've also added support for setting a parent from the board itself. So if I wanted to like change the parent for all of these issues, I could come in here, select one, maybe select all in this pipeline, select all in this pipeline, and then I can click set parent. And from here, I can quickly type and pick a new parent, hit enter, and it will apply the changes in bulk. So this makes it incredibly easy for you to build a hierarchy of work that's already kind of been written up, right? So having talked with many of you, I know that there's a lot of work going on in your organizations that isn't nested neatly under a body of work, right? So what you can come in and do now is say, all right, I want to see everything that has a filter, a label of EIR, right? And actually, probably should. There's some, I just spotted a couple names in there that I don't want to divulge. So maybe let's do backend, right? So I can type backend here, and it will filter the board to the backend tasks that are listed here. And from here, I can select all, right? I can select by also doing shift click. I don't know if you knew that. Shift click to select, right? And then from here, I've got the action bar that pops up. I can set the pipeline, that's the column. I can set assignees, I can set a label, I can set the sprint. I can set a GitHub milestone. Today we have epic and release. Down the road, it will just be set parent once we've gotten to feature parity on a few things. And then set estimate. So for here, you can start grouping things together. So the way I would suggest building your hierarchy is start at the top, right? Write down your high-level long-term goals as issues. And then you can start adding the work into that by using the bulk updates, filtering either by searching or selecting a label or any other way that you have of grouping the work together today. And then with a click, you can set that parent. And from that point on, you'll be able to go into that parent and drill down from top to bottom, right? So you'll be able to come in and you can literally live in a single issue and just be able to quickly go down and see exactly what's going on, top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay, so the set parent thing just went out last Thursday, I think. Maybe that was, yeah, so last Thursday, so a week ago. I had hoped that I was going to show you the issue types and hierarchy today live in production, but we're having the webinar a couple days early. It's going to go out I think next week. So I'm going to show you what this is going to look like by pulling up the designs and from here. Here we go. All right. So hopefully you can see this okay. There's going to be a new org setting for your organization. It will give you these issue type levels. And for each level, you can set different issue types to live at that level. So this is coming soon. It's not available today, but it will be out. It will be coming soon. So you can come in here and then you can define what the issue types that live in these levels are called. So in this example here, I've got objective, project, epic, or feature, issue, enhancement, task, bug, and then sub-issue. So we're going to provide 5 issue type levels. And what's going to happen is when you're in an objective and you create a sub-issue, it will automatically give you a sub-issue type of a project. If you're in a project and you create a sub-issue, it will automatically give you the issue type of an epic or a feature. If you're in an epic and you create a sub-issue, in this case, you'll have a choice. Should it be an issue, an enhancement, a task, or a bug? You'll be able to pick that very quickly using the sub-issue creator. And if you're in an issue and you go down to level, and create a sub-issue, you'll get a subtask or whatever you call it. Now, you can rename these and set it up the way that your organization works. You can include the issue types that you want at these levels. And as you go from top to bottom, as you create sub-issues under each one of these levels, you'll automatically start creating the right type. Now, there's kind of a dividing line here, right? Where some of these issue types will only be seen in the planning panel. I'll show you the planning panel in a moment. While these other ones, the level 4 and level 5, they will live on the board, just like issues do today. So high-level issues will live in the planning panel. Lower level issues, level 4, level 5, will live on the board. So let's go back and look at what the planning panel is going to look like. Now, it looks a lot like the experience that you get driving through right here, except there's going to be some cool things. So this issue, sub-issue lister here, the way that this works, it's going to work very similarly here in this left sidebar, right? But when you hover over one of these, that's where you'll get the ability to either filter the board to see the sub-issues or click to slide out the issue itself, okay? So from here, you'll be able to filter, just like I showed you from the card on the board, or you'll be able to click in and read through everything. And the planning panel can be collapsed and it tucks away neat and tidy on the side. It's also a little bit more discoverable than the Epics slide out today, because you have to know that it's there, or you have to find it in the view options. So the planning panel is going to be visible here on the board and in the roadmap. So the roadmap will get an update to support the planning panel. So the planning panel will effectively replace the left side of the roadmap that you see today in Zenhub. So from here, you'll be able to click again, to click in and have the slide out come out, or just kind of drill up or down and be able to navigate through the objectives to projects to epics, the high-level planning items. Now, you'll be able to see the high-level planning items that you have access to within your workspace. Okay, so because we are building our new work breakdown structure from top to bottom using issues, that means that your GitHub issue permissions are just automatically used. So it makes it very easy to share work across teams. All you have to do is include a shared repository in your workspace, and then you can work back and forth. The thing that is so fast in Zenhub today is when I was creating those sub-issues, I'll just go back over here, right? And I search for something. Today, if I search for anything, no matter which repository it's in, it's going to search, database, it's going to search across repositories. So from here, you can see I'm seeing issues from 3 different repos here: Zenhub, Raptor, or DevOps, right? So these are just 3 of our repositories. The thing that is so different here is I can add one of these issues from another repo like that. If I want to add a sub issue in GitHub, just using the basic thing that they give you, I have to come in here and I have to click add existing, and then I have to scroll, and then I have to go over here. I then need to, oh, you know what, that DevOps repo isn't even here. Can I find it? All right, there it is. And now I can go in and now I can search. It's that compared to just typing and finding it, so much faster. We've done some time trials on this, and you can do this 5, 7, 8 times faster, especially if you are adding lots of issues from across an org. So for sharing the work, your GitHub repository permissions are inherited and used. And that means that if you and your organization want to set up high-level goals that everybody can see, put them in a globally available repository. Create them as your highest level objective, add that repository to your workspaces, and now you have shared objectives across your entire business like that. Each team can then create sub-issues in their own repositories, allowing them to have control over the ownership of the body of work, while everyone across the org that has access can see the complete roll-up of everything. Now, we have a feature in Zenhub on our enterprise plan. So I just want to call that out. This is on our enterprise plan that allows you to, go in here, I'll click edit, allows you to make repositories visible to non-GitHub users, right? So that means that if you have a multidisciplinary team, if you have designers, support team members, marketing team members, anybody else that doesn't have a GitHub account, they'll still be able to come in and see those high-level objectives, even if they don't have a GitHub account. So all of that just works. And then the other thing too is that all of our reporting just works as well. We are going to be adding some additional filtering options to the reporting a little bit later, but the list of things that we're doing in the order that we're doing it, over the next probably 3 or 4 days, you will start to see that issue type config show up, and then you'll see when you create a sub issue, it will automatically prompt you for the next level down to set the right one. And then we'll be working on support for the roadmap. So when we get support for the roadmap done, okay, when you can go to the roadmap and the planning panel is there, and you can just go from top to bottom, bottom to top, using the sidebar here in the planning panel. When we have that in the roadmap, that's the point that we're gonna start migrating from the older Zenhub projects and epics to this new issue-based approach. There will be some edge cases, no doubt. We will make sure that if anything doesn't kind of like fit perfectly, that we'll give you the option to decide what to do. So some of that may be around how visible things are. That may be around which repository you want these stored in. So there will be some options there. You'll be able to pick the options in some way, shape, or form, and then we'll make sure that everything goes in the right place. So early next year, we'll all be at a point where you can, no matter where you are in Zenhub, you can pop open the goals and planning panel. You'll be able to see your highest level objectives to your lowest level tasks, and be able to drill up and down incredibly quickly. Question, when will subtasks be live in production? Great question. So GitHub has been adding people to the platform beta continuously since the summer. The update that I got from their team just the other day is that they plan on going GA with the platform changes in January. So the moment that they go GA, we will flip the switch on our end and roll out everything that we have to everybody. Now, we just got a list of about 500 or 600 more of our customers who have been enabled on the GitHub platform beta. So we'll be feature flagging those on this afternoon. And we're getting continual updates on who's got it every week, and we continue to bring people in. And I'm sending out emails, welcome you aboard, along with a loom that tells you kind of like what to expect. And with that, let's go to where we get access. So if you're already in the GitHub platform beta and you're on the early access list, you should already have them, unless you're part of that 600 something group of customers that we just got the list updated, and you should have them this afternoon. If you have the GitHub platform beta and you don't start seeing them in Zenhub, say tomorrow morning, shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. Does the goal planning allow you to set tentative dates? This is one of my favorite things. I have often found myself in a situation where I need to do some what-if scenario planning, where we have a decision to make. Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? What kind of signals have we seen? Do we want to double down on one area, or do we want to pivot and do something else? And in order to do that in the past, what I have done is I have created multiple planning workspaces for myself, and then created essentially multiple versions of a roadmap to kind of help me sketch out what I want to build. The thing I'm really looking forward to now is the fact that because these are just issues moving forward, and issues can be moved between repositories, I can have one repo with my that I use for kind of like draft like roadmap planning. And when I'm ready to go, yes or no, I can just move that into the globally shared one, and then it's automatically updated. So I can build a roadmap in private using issues in my own space. And then when I'm ready to, I just move it to the global repository, and everybody sees it. So, so does the goal planning allow you to set tentative dates? You'll absolutely be able to do that. And just so you know, you'll also be able to have items in the planning panel that show up on the roadmap that don't have dates set yet. We have that ability today. It just shows up as a line on the roadmap without a timeline associated with it. So you can also set what are called key dates. So that's part of the roadmap support that we're adding, so that you can put in key dates, either like we have a webinar on this day, we have a tentative release on that day, or we have some other event. You can put those in as distinct dates in the thing. And hopefully that answers that question, Michael. And I see you've just asked another. We are also unable to get clear sprint reports. Okay, anonymous attendee, send me an email, and we'll figure out what's going on. I don't know who you are, so just reach out and tell me you were the anonymous person on the thing, and we'll figure it out. Okay, what about for epics? And are they plans for dependency mapping? Zenhub only allows you to tag and is blocked by or blocking. Okay, awesome. So dependencies are already supported today with sub-issues, so I can mark them as blocked or blocking or blocked by. We have gotten a fair number of requests for additional dependency types. So that is in kind of the longer term plan. So we are planning on adding additional dependency types, but that's a post all of the things that I've been talking about here. Hopefully that answers that question. And how are key dates different from milestones? So a milestone in GitHub land, in the GitHub universe, is a body of work that is marching towards a date. This is almost the opposite. A key date is a date associated with a body of work, and you can have multiple dates associated with that. So let me see if I can show, let me pull this out in MVP1 and look at, here we go. So a key date, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So right here, hopefully, let's try to zoom a little bit, but Zoom is being wonky. So hopefully over here on the right, you can see what we got. Key dates, first internal release, October 28th for a webinar, October 29th, GitHub Universe. This will be coming to issues that are the higher level planning type issues. Hopefully that answers that question. So the other thing too, a GitHub issue can only belong to one GitHub milestone, right? That's a GitHub thing. But a Zenhub key date and an epic or objective or anything else in Zenhub, you can have multiple key dates, right? To mark different, I almost said the word milestone, but different events during the progress of some work. So hopefully that answered the question. How do you get access? So once again, I was saying this, if you're already in the list, you should have access. If you don't, email me, george@zenhub.com. Okay. And I will work with the team, figure out what's going on. So, okay. I've been answering questions as we go. And just to reiterate, kind of where are we? So issue types and levels are going to drop very soon. The planning panel, the team's already hard at work on that. And we'll drop, hopefully it'll be an early holiday present for people. Then they're also working on the roadmap support, right? We are going to migrate the existing Zenhub projects and epics that you see on the roadmap today to these new issue-based ones after the roadmap support is done. So the roadmap support plus the key dates, that will be done. And then first half, Some of the other things that you may have seen in either in the brief kind of glimpse ahead of what I showed just now, or in some of the conversations we've had. We're going to be busy working on stuff throughout the new year. Jason, do we have any other questions, or do we want to open it up?
No other questions right now, but if anyone has any, feel free to throw them in there. You can also ask a question
I've been
verbally if you'd
talking
like.
nonstop for 55 minutes, so I'm going to take a water. And any questions? Yes. I'm going to plan on adding objectives next Friday. Too soon? Absolutely not. Not too soon at all. In fact, you can see I'm living with it right now, right? So we ourselves have been using the woohoo, thank you, Alex. We've been working like this for a while now. Definitely there's kind of an in-between phase. The thing I miss most right now is the roadmap. So like, can't wait for the team to have that supported. But again, just for me to come into this one place, right? Where's the tab? One place here and go from top level down to the bottom, like so fast. It's a dream, just because I just know, I just have complete visibility about where all of the work that rolls up to this. Now, one of the other things too that we have today on the board for the different filter options here is the ability to say, to like show all issues not in an epic, right? So one of the other options that we will be adding is show all issues without parents, right? And then from there, you'll be able to understand, aha, here's all of the work not related to my higher level goals and objectives. What's going on? Now, some of it may be bugs, and you might need to just like do a quick like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, select them, add them to a parent, and then you clean that up. But it may also highlight work going on that isn't necessarily related to your stated goals and objectives. And for all of us, we all have a need to be able to focus on the strategic work and make sure that we are providing value to our customers. I mentioned at the start of this a project that we are running a pilot program for a new thing called the Engineering Investment Report. And it uses our AI to categorize work automatically and generates these reports. Let me just pull there we go. So we're able to come in and like understand with an insane level of accuracy what the breakdown is between strategic operations and maintenance, bugs over time, right? This allows you then to start drilling down and understand on a repository by repository or team by team breakdown of who's focused on strategic work, who's focused on operations and maintenance, who's spending more time than they planned on bugs or admin and IT. So this is a pilot program that we're running with some of our enterprise customers. If you have any interest in being able to understand where you're investing in your engineering organization, send me an email. Again, george@zenhub.com, right here. Send me an email. We have one more question. Do we offer walkthrough sessions? We absolutely do. You can have one of our team members. So anonymous attendee, if you're the same anonymous attendee, send me an email, george@zenhub.com, and I'll connect you with one of our team members, or depending on the size of your org, we may do a variety of different things. So send me an email. And if you want to get together, if you want to talk, I am here to listen and understand your needs so that we can help you and your team become the best version of yourself, right? And whether we do it by helping you get the most out of our core, product, right? Or we do it by doing one of the by having you be part of our pilot program for the engineering investment reporting, or we come in, we engage in a special engagement with some companies where we actually go in and work very closely with you and help you diagnose engineering and process challenges, and then help you figure out how to get progress towards improving things. So no matter what kind of challenges you have, reach out, send me an email, and love to help you. So Jason, I think we're at time, and I think we have all of the questions answered. Thank you all for the questions. Hopefully this was helpful, and looking forward to continuing to deliver some really cool stuff. So stay tuned. Next things up, issue types and the hierarchy and the setting the levels, planning panel soon thereafter, and then the roadmap support probably after the holidays, if I'm being realistic. So all right, hopefully that helped, and I will see you all again next time. And yes, this will be available as recording. We'll send it out after. Okay, Jason, I think we can close it down.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you all.